Today we're going to talk about grazing. So, what is it? Grazing is farmland or grassland that is suitable for pasturage. Pasture means to feed in Latin. So this is when farmers who raise livestock allow their animals to freely eat what they want. And an example of this is when cows would eat grass, and they are happy.
So what are the benefits of grazing? Well, there are a lot. One thing that grazing can help with is the elimination of invasive species on a piece of land. These plants can spread rapidly, consequently using up minerals and water from the soil. By having animals eat plants that are not native, this is a fast way to clean up and restore a rangeland or pasture and protect native plants. Grazing is also beneficial because it improves soil quality. By having animals graze, the soil gets denser due to the nutrients from the manure and stomping from the animals, which can reduce the amount of soil erosion that occurs on a rangeland and pasture. These soils are also said to have a better ability to capture carbon, also known as carbon sequestration. One farmer stated that there was an estimated 30% reduction in the amount of soil loss on a pasture than an annual crop. It is also a great prevention method of the runoff of sediments into a nearby body of water. Finally, grazing is beneficial because of the advantages it provides the animals. Studies show that animals that graze have less hoof and leg problems that are caused by standing on concrete floors. Farms that practice grazing also spend less on medicines and medical supplies, as animals have a lower chance of getting sick. The lack of antibiotics in their systems means that there will be a lesser chance of these drugs found in our food supply as well.
So some of the risks that come with grazing is called overgrazing. And this is when the livestock consumes a high amount of vegetation so fast that it can't reproduce in time. And this leads to what is called desertification of the land, which means that the land becomes dry and loses its water and vegetation. And this means that the land is no longer suitable to be grazed off of.
Now for some interesting facts. Did you know that organized grazing began in 1934 with the Taylor Grazing Act in the U.S.? This act helped in the prevention of overgrazing and provided structure to the unorganized methods of grazing before that. Did you know that cattle like to stay close to their families when sleeping and can form friendships with others as well? A happy cow that is treated better is also proven to produce more milk than cows that are treated poorly.
Another con with grazing is the cost. This is because farmers who choose to graze have to maintain the land for the livestock to eat off of it. This is when the money starts to pile up. For example, in a 100-acre pasture with one water source, the initial investment is $101,973 just for the machinery and equipment. In addition, $40,883 just for the materials needed to maintain the pasture. Comparing to concentrated animal feeding operations, it costs a fraction of what farmers who choose to graze pay, because they have nothing to be concerned of for maintaining. They just have to buy their cheap corn feed to give to the livestock.
Now for some Canadian statistics. In Canada, most of the grazing industry is located in western provinces such as Alberta, Saskatchewan, British Columbia, and Manitoba. A 2001 study has also shown that there are 66,160 beef and dairy farms that use grazing, with almost 30% of these farms being found in Alberta. Also, 69% of the biggest farms in Canada use rotational grazing.
Some current news with grazing is in Mongolia. The grazing cattle are destroying the Mongolian rangelands, and this is due to overgrazing occurring. An ecologist researched that all of the grasslands worldwide are impacted by too many livestock. They are headed for desertification, especially where Mongolia is located. There are periodic droughts that occur which hinder the land even more.
During the summer of this year, Saskatchewan has also faced dry weather and has opened up conservation land so that animals can graze. 90,000 acres of Fish and Wildlife Development Fund land has opened for farmers to let their cattle graze. This shows that now society realizes the importance and benefit of allowing animals to graze, so much so that they are willing to allow access to conservation lands in order to ensure that animals are healthy while farmers try to obtain feed after the dry weather.
The end!